start for a topic that many people don't want to think about, but end-of-life decisions and how your pet is included. And joining us today, Donna Klingler, and you've been talking about how, you know, your pets were trained to compete and things like that, but suppose you just have your regular pet and, you know, other pet decisions and vets and what they eat and quirks and stuff. So let's talk about other things that people need to think about, you know, before you die and things happen.
Yes. My big thing is I have all my vet records for my dogs. So I have to pass that information on to the new owners. I also let the veterinarian know who the new owners are going to be for my dogs, so they don't, you know, have a big surprise.
They need to be connected in the loop that you have cancer and things are happening. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And then, you know, it's the same with the groomer. My groomer knows that, you know, who's going to be taking over my dogs. And I wrote down, you know, the groomer will help you with this, but I also wrote down specific things that I do that the groomer does, okay?
Well, and you pass a pet along too, and it's just like, you just don't feed them anything. I mean, you know, like as far as feeding and other habits and things, right?
Absolutely, and getting back to the vet, remember about their allergies, or if they're scared of thunderstorms or scared of the 4th of July, that's another thing I like to tell them. And the groomer, I tell the new owners how often they go for grooming. What the cut should be. Now, like with Aussies, since they have so many coats, it's not a wise idea to have them shaved.
Oh, okay. Sure, yeah.
So, you know, new owners may think that they're hot when they're panning and want to shave them, and that will get you into a situation that you don't want to be in. Right, right.
Do you want them to make them feel comfortable too, right? I mean, introduce them to the new home and things like that?
Exactly, and just so... What I've been doing is Cynthia Pry has got Whiskey and Mercy already, and they have acclimated to their new home. Now, I see them yet, but I wanted them to be totally comfortable with her and her house.
Oh, sure.
Now, Boo stays with me a lot, but he, my nephew lives not that far from me, and he's the one that's going to be taking Boo. And so he goes down there to stay for weekends and a week if I need it, or if I go to the hospital or something like that. He takes him in, and now he's acclimated to TJ and his wife. And
and this is a hard transition for you, but it also is for the dog too, right? So that's why you've got all these tips, and you want people to think ahead that, you know, pass along the quirks and the habits. They like, you know, pet somewhere, they like a couch or whatever, right? A certain blanket.
Absolutely. And that's another thing, you know, my dogs are allowed on the furniture. So people are going to have to be aware of that. They also have to be aware of just the little things, like what toys they like, what bed they like. If they don't like other dogs. Now, Boo Boo is one of those dogs that will pick and choose what dog he likes. So, you know, they need to know that. They need to know if they counter surf, pull when walking, did they get car sick?
Right.
These are just some examples that they need to know. And then the other thing that's really important is if your dog is microchipped, you need to go out there and change the address and the owner of that. I suggest, even though all of my dogs have one in shows with obedience and rally, I suggest the new owners go to actual obedience classes so they can learn the dog's buttons.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know,
and the dog learns to listen to them.
Listen to them.
I know this is a difficult time for you, and Donna, I am so glad that you came and took the time to share with us. That, you know, people need to think ahead, whether they know that, you know, they're dying from some disease or someday they might get older and have to move or whatever. So I'm so glad that you came today and shared this stuff with these segments, and thank you very much for coming.
I will. Thank you.
All right, don't go away. First Edition continues in a moment.